In Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, right now, probably the most contentious mechanic is super counters. Many new players find the input awkward, and players of all skill levels are feeling all kinds of ways about the reward you get off of it, the frequency of it in matches, and everything in between. Uh, Something strange about super counters is that if you fail a super counter with the input, if you hit the input again within the invisible cooldown window, it doesn't reset that cooldown window. So many players are finding a lot of success just by frantically mashing super counters constantly while they are getting hit, making both offense and defense feel very random. Maybe you've embraced this, maybe you haven't. Maybe you're confident in trying to time your super counters. But if you're one of those players that just mashes and prays for the best, on Steam, there is a far more comfortable way of doing this. I'm going to show you how. While you have the game open, hit Shift plus Tab, click on Controller Settings, and it's going to open this window here. Edit your controller layout. Take a button that you know you're not using for anything. I have a Switch Pro controller. I am not using this Take Screenshot button. So I'm going to get rid of what that does. I'm going to add a command. We want two things. We want left stick up, and we want our attack button. Some guides say that for a super counter, you have to hit up slightly before the attack button. This is not true. You can hit up and the attack button on the same frame. It's just that inputting things on the same frame for a human is not the easiest thing in the world. So it is easier to hit up beforehand. Now in the settings, we can turn hold to repeat. This will turn it into a turbo function. Now you can set this into a really low number. But what I like to do is I like to set this to 34 for frame perfect 60 FPS smashing, because 17 milliseconds is one frame. And the way that this works is that half of this period of time is spent pushing it down, and then the other half is spent pushing it up. So we'll have a frame down, frame up, frame down, frame up. Get that going there. And then same thing here. Now, if I get back to the game, if I hit that button, it is going to be hitting up and X at a rate that no human could ever hit. This doesn't mean that it's attempting a super counter on each of these, because there is a cooldown on the attempts. But because mashing doesn't reset or penalize the cooldown, you can use this for what is effectively random super counters that sometimes work. So if I'm getting hit here, I'm going to hold this button. You can also hold the button and tap vanish when you know you can vanish something. And it will feel very random. However, it's going to feel very random if you're mashing anyway. There one came out. Let's do some more. There's another one. Goodness gracious. And also with this input, you can still time it. I wasn't even trying there. You can still time it if you want, because you're mapping up plus attack to the same button there. Yep, I was just holding the button. I got hit. held the button, got hit again. There was another one, just got hit, held the button. It'll happen sometimes, and sometimes it won't. So I'm going to emphasize again, this is not consistent. Sometimes it'll work, sometimes it won't. But we've played online, right? We know what this is like. You're mashing for your life. You're trying to time it, but the lag, it's tough. So again, it's sometimes working, sometimes it's not. Maybe you are that guy that can time it, but I'm not, and chances are you're not either. If you are that guy, then you can time this new macro that we've got. Something else that's nice about this is being able to do it more comfortably while in block stun. If you're on classic controls, you can hold it like this. You'll see that he's going to this upper block. Hold guard, hold the super counter mash, and you're super countering while blocking. On that note, if you do want the standard grab input without needing to do a double dash while in classic, you can map a button to guard plus left click on mouse. Yes, this is a real thing you can do. This game is very silly. Well, hopefully you can see some kind of success with this. Good luck with your super counters. Have fun with your super counters, or at least as much fun as Sparking Zero allows for. And hope you learned something and have a good time. Is this cheating? I don't know. Can they prove you're doing it? Probably not.